Welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video. We sell all the coolest Japanese collectibles and figurines straight out of Japan, and you can find out more details about us, including where you can buy these figurines at the eBay store, and we also have a Facebook page that you can check out. So in this video we're going to be reviewing 4 of the 8 figures that were released in the SCultures Colosseum One Piece line that was released have been released over the last few months here in Japan, and these are all made, of course, by Banpresto. So there were 8 figures, as I said, released in the line, and if I actually show you what they were, we have the Luffy, Nami, Zoro, Buggy, Sabo, Eustass Kid, Ace, and Paulie. And today we're going to be looking at these 4 here. So without further ado, let's actually get straight into it, and I will show you the boxes at the end. So the first thing that actually really strikes me with all of these figures is that they're much bigger than I had actually expected. They're actually, if I put a iPhone 5 case here for comparison, you can just see how large some of those are. And the Sabo in particular, he's actually about 24 centimeters, about 240 millimeters. So he's actually pretty much as big as a Master Stars piece figure. So he's very, very big, the Sabo, and even the Buggy and Eustass Kid are actually over 200 millimeters, so over 20 centimeters. So pretty big figures, these guys. So let's now actually get into it. So let's maybe start with maybe I'll get one of these guys out of the way, and I'll have a look at the Luffy first. This was actually the first one in the line released, and this guy is actually from the Strong World movie, so it's pretty rare that they make figurines from the movie line, but I was really blown out by the quality of this figure. You can see, for example, the tread in the back of his foot, and even just the sort of details on his water bottle. Like it even kind of looks worn in the jungle, and you know, all the stitching, the lace, the bottle, the straps. It's pretty unreal. It really is. Even the stick, like you can see, it's even got like the knot and the sort of tread of the stick. And again, the foot, you can just see the detail on his sandal, and again with the bag. It looks so real. And of course, Luffy, since he likes meat, you've got the bone there, the t-shirt, and then the face also looks really realistic, and the goggles. Now when I first saw this figure, I kind of thought, you know, why would you kind of want this figure of Luffy, because it's from the movie? But I have to say, this actually, I really love this figure. It's I just love it. I love the detail. I love the sort of action pose. I love his facial expression. I love that kind of adventure feel to it, which is what, you know, the whole sort of pirate series is about. And I really like this sort of dramatic pose as well. So, and there's some pretty good size in that. Like sometimes the ones that are in dramatic poses are not particularly that big, but this one actually is pretty big. Like if I compare it to a kind of similar figure in the Dragon Ball line, you can see that it's, you know, significantly larger. So there is some, you know, some really decent size in that one. So that's the Luffy. So let's now go to, maybe I'll do Buggy next, because he was the next one in the line. Well, actually, first there was Nami and Zoro, but then there was Buggy, and I have to say I was just blown out by this figure. I actually think this is perhaps the most difficult sculpt that I've seen in any of the SCultures line, just because of the complexity and the detail of this figure. It really is impressive, and there are actually 11 pieces to what you see in front of you. There's the base, the stand, the lower half of the body, and this is actually part of this lower part is attached to the pants, and then you've got the t-shirt, and what else we got? The hand, the cape, the head, and then there are 5 knives on the foot and 4 in his hands. So there is an amazing number of pieces in this set, but it's all pretty easy to put together and assemble. And I really like the paint job as well, got some metallic stuff there. But just the detail and the sculpt is just really amazing. Like even the epaulettes, you can see the detail on the back there. Pretty unreal. So very, very impressive figure. And as I said, it's quite large. He actually really sits quite high up, which really gives it that extra effect. So very, very cool. Very cool figure. That's the Buggy. And did I say that? That was actually the runner-up. So these lines are actually voted. People in Japan can vote when promotional images are released, and people in Japan can vote which one they like the best. And Buggy actually won the runner-up prize. So then we have Eustass Kid, and again, this guy's pretty big. So from the bottom to the top, he is 21 millimeters, so 21 centimeters. So again, just as a comparison for size, you can see that it's basically, you know, 2 iPhone 5s in height. And again, this figure just really blows you away. The paint job, the metallic paint job over most of him is really impressive. And again on the cape, and the best part of the figure is his arm. It's amazing. It really, to think that someone actually sculpted this, and then to think that they actually managed to mass produce this, is really amazing. Like you can see even like the little tube here, and you know, just all the sort of details. It's really amazing. I really like the sculptor of this figure. He made the Zoro in Series 3 as well, which is also one of my favorite figures. Kind of a similar kind of feel to this figure as well. Very sort of mean looking figure. You can see even then there's like some sort of like oil tube or something in there. Just amazing, amazing detail. Now I think, you know, characters like Buggy and Eustass Kid are probably not the most popular characters. Like most people, you know, say like Zoro or, you know, Luffy or whatever, but when the figures are this good, you really want to add them to your collection just because they're just such awesome figures. So that is the Eustass Kid. Very, very impressive figure. And then the last one is the Sabo. And as I said, this figure is actually very tall. It's 24 millimeters, so 24 centimeters. And if I actually show you the comparison, I don't have a One Piece MSP handy, but this is a Dragon Ball MSP, and you can actually see it's taller. So, you know, it basically is MSP size. Very, very tall figure. And this figure actually won the voting. So people in Japan actually voted that this was their favorite figure in the One Piece line. Sorry for all the noises playing going above us. And yeah, you can really see, again, just the really nice detail. You can see like all the detail in the pants, and even the jacket's kind of hard to show, but it's actually got like a sort of cloth pattern thread on it. Like even the inside's got the seam, and just so much detail. Even the back, you got like, you know, nice buttons, and even the pipe, you've got like the tread, and you know, even like little dints and things, they're meant to be there, just showing that, you know, he's used it before. Very, very impressive figure. Pretty easy to assemble as well, this one actually. You've only got the base, the lower half of the body, top half of the body, and then this pipe actually connects in the middle there. So it actually comes in 2 pieces just because it's so long and big. So all in all, very, very impressive figures. I really like how they've released some of, you know, figures of characters that may not be as kind of popular or whatnot. because this series did have Ace and Zoro, but we've seen so many figures of those characters, so I'm really glad that they've actually kind of experimented a bit more. You know, characters like Buggy and Kid and Sabo. It's really good to see. So what else was I going to show you? I was just going to quickly show you. So one of the biggest figures that I've actually seen in this line is the Doflamingo. So if you have this figure, you can see the comparison in size. I mean, he is crouched, obviously, but that gives you some idea about the size and the height of these figures. So as promised, I'll just quickly show you the boxes and then we can wrap it all up. So this is the Buggy. So pretty similar box design to Series 3, which I also loved. And some information about the sculptor. Usually they do actually show a real photo. And I really like how they did this, showing you the other figures in the series, and then whichever one it is, it's in colour. And then the top gold toe animation sticker. And you can see there it says it was the runner-up prize, and then all the Japanese jargon for use as prize in Japan only, as you can see. So Japanese exclusive, like all Banpresto figures. Now all the boxes are pretty much the same, so I'll just very quickly show you these. So that was Luffy, and then the winner of course was Sabo. So all these boxes are a standard 180 millimeters, 180 millimeters tall, so 18 centimeters. But because the figures assemble in different parts, you can see that the figure is noticeably bigger than the box. And then the last one is the Kid. It's pretty amazing actually. They fitted all the figures in these boxes because it's not a very big box really. So it's just jam-packed full. I'm going to, oh, that's the sculptor there of the guy I like, Saito Hiro. So yeah, just again for a comparison, this was actually the Doflamingo box. So Doflamingo box was bigger, but the figures in this line are bigger. So now the Nami and the Paulie boxes in this series are actually, I think, the same size as the Doflamingo. They are actually noticeably bigger. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up, so thank you very much for watching. In summary, just really fantastic figurines. I'm just very impressed by all these, and as I said, I'll put details in the description of this video to the item pages for these, and also some of the other reviews in the One Piece SCultures line. So that was the Colosseum Series 4 One Piece Banpresto figures released in 2015. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.